Right now on News 12 New Jersey, students at Rutgers being urged to get extra vaccinations for their protection. We'll explain why.
Also, tragedy strikes again at Fort Hood in Texas. 5 soldiers dead, 4 others missing after their truck overturns in high flood waters.
It's a really nice man. He didn't deserve it.
But first, a family in Newark is left searching for answers after their loved one is gunned down in cold blood. I'm Marissa Brainy.
Good afternoon, I'm Kurt Sieglin. Around New Jersey, around the clock.
This is News 12 New Jersey.
And the news starts in Newark today. Still no word on who shot and killed an animal control officer this week.
News 12 New Jersey's Tony Caputo has the heartbreaking reaction from the man's family.
The 43-year-old worked at the Newark branch of the Associated Humane Societies for 16 years. He was shot late Tuesday night on Wainwright Street. Who pulled the trigger and why remains unknown. It's left his friends and this relative, who didn't want to be identified, grieving.
He would give you the shirt off his back. Like, he was a really nice man. He didn't deserve it.
Alvis Carrington, seen here on the Associated Humane Societies of Newark Facebook page just hours after he was gunned down on Tuesday night, spent nearly 2 decades saving abused animals. But nobody could save him after he was shot and killed on Wainwright Street. The relative, who spoke with News 12 New Jersey's Vanessa Freeman, did not want to be on camera. She told us what happened just before the shooting took place.
He was working on call, and he came home to bring his wife a soda. His brother went in the house to use the bathroom. That's when they heard the shots. And then his brother went to him and tried to save his life.
Alvis's brother did everything he could to save Carrington, but it was simply too late.
He did, CPR, all that kind of stuff. He tried to throw him in the truck to take him to the hospital, all that, and he died in his arms.
Carrington is survived by his wife and children, and like their relative who spoke with us, all of them can only wonder who's responsible for taking his life and why. Anyone with information has to call Newark Police or the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. You can find those numbers on our website, news12.com. Tony Caputo, News 12, New Jersey.
Tony, thank you. Let's check out what's happening here. It is a Friday. It's a getaway day. Let's head down towards the Jersey Shore over the Barnegat Bay. Little cloudy, little gray here, but we're seeing some improvements. This is 37 at 35. So again, faring okay. Now it's going to be sort of a late day high at 4 o'clock. We're at 73. At 8, we're at 72. And then temperatures cooling down here in East Brunswick as we make our way in towards the overnight hours, in towards tomorrow morning. Look at that, 80 at noon tomorrow in East Brunswick. So certainly a much warmer day tomorrow. Tomorrow is the best day of the weekend. Much better than Sunday. Satellite radar shot shows those light showers moving on out of here or breaking up. So it is going to be a nicer, better looking afternoon on the way, and certainly seeing some improvements. On the forecast map, our front is just out to the west. And again, that frontal boundary will work its way through. As it does so, it's going to knock what's left of Bonnie out of the way and push her out to sea. All right, tropical depression Bonnie still holding in there. There was some speculation that she could strengthen up to a tropical storm. That's probably not going to happen here as she moves further out into the Atlantic by later on tonight. She will slowly peter out. Elizabeth and Hoboken today about 74. Central Jersey, Raritan and Monroe, you've got 74 as well. Manasquan at about 74. In Point Pleasant today, you've got 73. Spotty showers. It is cooler as well. No advisories on the open ocean. Seas are rolling in at about 2 to 3 feet. Water temperatures in the 60s. Now be careful of any long period swell induced rip currents today, thanks in part to Bonnie moving further offshore. Tree pollen is high. Spores are high today as well. Allergy sufferers heading home. 74 to 75, mainly cloudy. The risk or chance of a shower is here. Overnight, mostly cloudy. Stray shower chances 60 to about 65 going to do it. So again, a little bit better overnight and certainly pretty temperate. We come back, we'll talk more about the rest of your weekend 7-day forecast. Here are Kurt and Marissa now.
James, thank you. Great concern right now in Texas as the search continues along a Fort Hood Creek for 4 missing U.S. Army soldiers after a truck overturned in the water. Emergency crews found the bodies of 2 soldiers late last night, bringing the death toll to 5.
We suffered a tragic accident where we lost 5 of our soldiers due to the quick action of some other soldiers that were training. we were able to rescue 3 soldiers who are in stable condition. This tragedy extends well beyond Fort Hood, and the outpouring of support from around the country is sincerely appreciated.
And again, 4 Army soldiers are still missing right now. 3 soldiers were rescued and are hospitalized in stable condition.
Well, the parents of a little boy who fell into the gorilla enclosure at the Cincinnati Zoo could find out Monday if they will face charges. An Ohio prosecutor will look into the family's actions from last Saturday. Legal experts say prosecution, though, seems unlikely. The actions led to the fatal shooting of the gorilla in order to protect the child.
A Honduran woman is asking for privacy after giving birth to a baby affected with the Zika virus in Hackensack. Hackensack University Medical Center passing along the woman's request. The baby was delivered premature on Tuesday. An ultrasound revealed birth defects. The baby's head is smaller than usual due to the brain not developing properly.
Well, New Jersey's Department of Health and Rutgers University are urging incoming students and current undergrads to get additional meningitis vaccinations. This after 2 students contracted the disease earlier this year on the New Brunswick campus. Both have since recovered. Students will have to submit a form verifying they have been properly vaccinated before returning to school in the fall. And students can also sign a form acknowledging the risks of not getting vaccinated.
Police in Kearney investigating the shooting of a woman who apparently was able to get herself to the hospital. It happened in the overnight hours on Wilson Avenue, just off Kearney Avenue. This apparently started as a robbery, but at some point it became violent and the suspect opened fire. It is believed the woman suffered neck and hand wounds from those gunshots, but she did get to University Hospital. Police were on the scene as of 5 o'clock this morning. The scene is clear now. Fire crews were brought in to wash blood off the sidewalk and the street. There's no word on her condition this morning or that of the suspect.
An update now to a story in Maplewood. Investigators say a man found dead on a street there Monday was the victim of a hit and run. It happened on Hickory Drive and Wyoming Avenue sometime in the early morning hours. Now, his name is not being released until his relatives are notified. Police, meantime, still searching for the driver. If you have information, you're asked to call police.
A pharmacist in Madison is convicted of conspiring with a doctor to illegally distribute oxycodone to people without prescriptions. Srinivasa Raju of Clifton is charged with distribution of a controlled dangerous substance. Raju could face 5 years in prison when sentenced in July.
A casino at the Meadowlands. State leaders are gathering to discuss the idea of expanding casino gambling up to North Jersey.
Stocks are a little lower this Friday. You know, the last time the nation's unemployment rate was this low, it was November of 2007. It's down to 4.7%. However, the Labor Department says employers added just 38,000 jobs last month. That is a lot lower than expected and the fewest number of new jobs since September of 2010. And that is the big reason the stock market is lower this afternoon. We'll check business news again, see how the markets are faring around 2:30 today. News 12 New Jersey's Eric Landskroner will join us.
And time now to check in with James with a look at our weather on the ones. Not the greatest Friday, but things will turn around a little bit.
We're going to be in Belmar tonight. Dave and Eric are on the road. So again, let's check it out, everyone. About 73 degrees, that high temperature today in Belmar. So come on out, say hi. We're going to be all over here in Belmar this evening. So again, on the road rolls along. And speaking of on the road, over the Tunney and Mathis Bridge we go to Grandma's house. Well, maybe not. Over the Barnegat Bay, at least. And again, you can see that it looks okay. 73 at 4, 72 at 8, 64 at midnight in East Brunswick here. But watch the numbers really pop tomorrow. At noontime in East Brunswick, we're at 80 tomorrow. Tomorrow, by far, best day of the weekend. Visibility's a little reduced here. Teterboro has dealt with some showers, little fog, 6-mile visibility. Satellite and radar shot shows the rain moving through. Light, spotty showers. We're kind of wrapping this up. The threat of an isolated storm is here today, but a much more significant threat for Sunday. So there's the frontal boundary. That'll continue to zip on through and eventually push things out of the way. Storm watch here. We're watching Bonnie. Bonnie will continue to move out to sea. Tropical depression Bonnie, and really not expected to strengthen any further than there. And over in Wayne today at 75, Elizabeth and Hoboken 74, and that's kind of where we are statewide with lots of clouds. The chance of a shower, though, does dwindle in the afternoon. We come back. We'll talk about that weekend 7-day. We go back now to Kurt and Marissa.
All right, James. Well, casino gambling in North Jersey, it could happen, and today Senate leaders are getting together to discuss it.
Also, we're going to take a secret look inside Port Newark and one of the unseen parts of the port, making life a little easier for the seafarers.
And we have breaking news out of Monmouth County this afternoon. Nearly 100 dogs have been removed from a home in Howell. Let's get right out to News 12 New Jersey's Jim Murdoch on Bennett Road with the latest details on this. Jim, an active situation there.
A very active situation. In fact, officials are calling it the worst animal hoarding situation they have ever seen. Here in Monmouth County, 80 to 100 dogs right now are being removed from a home along Bennett Road. Right now, we have a triage unit set up right behind me as the dogs are being brought out of the home. I want to bring in SPCA Chief Ross Lasitra. Ross, what is happening here today?
Well, we received a law enforcement complaint from the Associated Humane, who's the animal control for Howell Township. Upon investigating this house, we realized that there was an overwhelming number of dogs that were inside this house, an extreme hoarding case that we've never experienced before. Of course, we immediately reached out for our partners at St. Hubert's from Madison, New Jersey to assist us. The amount of animals here is just way too much for one shelter to take. St. Hubert's came down from Madison to assist. The Monmouth County Sheriff's Office immediately was out to assist us, as they always are, and we're just getting through it. Each animal is being brought out one at a time.
How are the conditions of the dogs?
The dogs so far seem to be in okay condition. Some of the dogs have never left the house ever. So a lot of them seem to be pregnant, and we're getting them through triage. They've never been vaccinated. We're getting them, their medical examinations are being completed. We're doing it one by one, very systematically. We've already removed 30 to Monmouth County, and now we're loading up St. Hubert's.
A large task here this afternoon. You'll be here probably for hours trying to pick this up.
Yeah, we'll be here at least until the early evening.
Ross, thank you so very much for joining us this afternoon. Again, 80 to 100 dogs being removed from a home in Howell Township along Bennett Road. Right now, the dogs, as you heard, in good condition. That's the very latest here in Howell. Jim Murdoch, News 12, New Jersey.
Jim, thank you. We're going to stay on top of that story through the day. Meantime, a push to get November voters to support casinos in North Jersey. This comes on the heels of a recent Monmouth University poll that shows voters are evenly split on that issue. A news conference was held at the Meadowlands Chamber of Commerce. News 12 New Jersey's Karen Lee is there right now. Karen.
With this 48 to 48 split, Democratic leaders say they think they're in a good position to get voters to swing their way. The way they're going to pitch this, that casinos here will be good for the entire state. Now, it's not hard to see why union workers and business leaders want a casino here in the Meadowlands area. We're talking about a lot of potential jobs and dollars. They want to take advantage of the proximity of Manhattan and draw in people who don't go to Atlantic City to gamble, but out of state. Now, Senate Democrats say they're fully aware of the argument that people in South Jersey have that this will ruin casino business there. But Senate President Steve Sweeney says they've already had several casinos shut down without any action taken there. Their position is money made here will streamline all the way down to Atlantic City and pump into the overall economy.
Let's work together. Let's do something not for South Jersey, not for North Jersey, not for Central New Jersey. We are one state. It's about time we work together.
Now, they're projecting that 2 casinos in North Jersey would generate approximately $200 million annually in tax revenue, money that would be shared across the state. We'll have much more on this story later on tonight. For now, reporting from the Meadowlands Chamber of Commerce, Karen Lee, News 12 New Jersey.
All right, Karen, thanks. Well, drivers heading down the Jersey Shore this summer should take notice. State police will be stepping up DWI checkpoints. Starting tomorrow, sobriety checkpoints will be set up in Ocean and Cumberland County. The state data says 542 people died on New Jersey roads last year, and state police say drivers should expect a heavier presence this summer than in years past. Well, Calico, the so-called evil clown of Middletown, is staying put. An iconic 30-foot steel sign. Have you seen that? Residents feared it would be trashed because of a new development project, but it is safe. Developers still want to create a 400,000 square foot shopping center and 350 residential units, but say they're working with the state's Historic Preservation Office on how to relocate the sign and make sure it stays in town.
Well, hundreds of ships visit Port Newark every year, and with all the commerce coming and going, an unseen part of the port is the Seamen's Church Institute. Their job is to make life for the seafarers a little easier. We got a rare invitation to go on board a cargo ship to see exactly what they do.
Father James climbs a gangway to meet with men who have not seen land in 45 days.
Good afternoon. How are you? How's life?
This scene on the bridge of the Icon Pandan, a ship carrying Belgian blocks just in from India.
How's family? How's your children? Good.
A scene that plays out every day at the port.
We go ship hopping. Pastoral care is the crux and soul of what we do.
You can lean on them, you know. You can call for just in case for any help or something.
We take our lead from what their need is.
You can call us anytime.
And that covers a lot, from services at their chapel to setting up phone calls with family to extra clothing, and sometimes
we're going to a ship today.
Just giving a ride to the Jersey Gardens Mall.
They always say, "We're off the ship," you know, and they just like.
These men and women make sacrifices that they're away from their families, wherever in the world they're from months and months at a time.
All of the workers on these ships are from far-flung countries.
For me, it's a reason to get my financial support for my family, so I have to sacrifice.
He, like the crew of the Icon Pandan, are Filipino, thousands of miles and months from home. The Seamen's Church Institute is a friend in a foreign land.
Just believe that they're just giving us like support, when they're coming on board.
Thank you so much. See you again and keep in touch.
They really do provide a valuable service. Any given day, there are many as 20 ships at Port Newark. The Seamen's Church Institute visits every one of those vessels.
Cool to get on board and see that. Let's check in now with James. A little bit of a misty, kind of dreary day.
Yeah, cloudy, a little soupy here this morning, or was this morning, and then now this afternoon. Looking a little bit better, at least. We're trying to break out into some brighter skies. All right, we're going to be in Belmar on the road tonight, so come on out and say hi. Dave and Eric will be out there. 73. Could be a couple showers, but I think that shower threat is dwindling, which is good. And in fact, we're going to be looking a little bit better. Over the Tunney and Mathis Bridge, little cloudy, little gray still. We're trying to get rid of the morning sickness and the rain that we had in place, and you can see that batch of rain pushing on out of here. Further back out to the west, a little more rain as well. Let's pull it on back, and again, a few isolated showers in play and in place, but other than that, it should be a rather benign afternoon. The frontal boundary pushes on through, which is good news, and that'll help steer Bonnie offshore. 74 to 75 today, mainly cloudy. As we move into the overnight hours, cloudy, 60 to 65. And then tomorrow's a great day, 80 to 84, a warm day, best day of the weekend. Speaking of, here's your 7-day forecast, and Sunday is pretty much a washout at 77. That is a look at your weather. Back now to the desk.
Well, just because breakfast is long over doesn't mean you can't celebrate National Donut Day. It's today. Several donut chains and local shops giving away free stuff. We'll have the details for you next.
Oh, that guitar riff. It only means one thing. It's Friday, and we're going to be on the road again tonight.
Yeah, you know what that music means. Tonight we're headed to Belmar. Over the past few years, lots of new restaurants have opened up in this Monmouth County town, and there is something for everyone. And while the downtown, of course, is busy and bustling, it's the beach, you know, that always draws the huge crowds of all ages. Tom Rogers has a business along the beach and says for families, Belmar's not only a fun day, it's also a great value.
Belmar's a great little community. It's a little gem that a lot of people are just learning about. People come here and have fun, and they can come for the day. You don't have to spend a ton of money. They can park, go to the beach, get an ice cream cone, have a sandwich, and go home with a smile and still pay the mortgage.
And don't forget to join Eric Landskroner and meteorologist Dave Curran on the road live in Belmar, all tonight starting at 5.
That's our Friday evening tradition. Our Friday morning tradition is Food Truck Friday. The guys from Pizza Vita joined us, making all kinds of great pizzas using a wood-fired brick oven on a food truck.
Awesome.
Thing gets up to a scorching 1,200 degrees. The pies are cooked in just 90 seconds.
I got to help, and so did you. We did it.
It was fun, right?
Yeah.
For more on Pizza Vita and Food Truck Friday, go to news12.com.
And while we're on the topic of things delicious, today is National Donut Day, and many of your favorite donut shops and bakeries are dishing out some free donuts, and we have a list of all those freebies for you. Just head on over to news12.com.
Well, his family dealing with a horrific loss. Police trying to figure out who killed an animal control officer in Newark.
And a health alert at Rutgers University. We'll tell you about it straight ahead.